Okay, back 4 or 5 years ago when I built the 3 tellies, on telly number 3 I put 2 humbuckers in it, and I had to go and find a drawing that I did to find out why did it work. And here's my novice drawing that I did way back then, and it took me a couple of days to figure out how to make this work. I completely forgot about that, and since then I had found out that, well, to take a coil out in a humbucker, all you got to do is put a ground on it and poof, one just completely disappears. So that doesn't work. So I spent a good part of my morning taking this and developing this. Because I've drilled the extra hole, I wanted to make sure I had something to fill it with. So I want to maintain the independent volumes. So I've manipulated it in such a way that inside each pickup, the coils are going from a black to a white, a green to a red, and the center tap are the green and the white. So when you got a push-pull switch like this, and when they're down, these two contacts are closed as if these wires were soldered together, and therefore you've got the full humbucker going through all the way. And then of course this is also closed, so now you jumper that to the input of your pot and send it out on pin 1 to the input of your switch, and use the switching mechanism to switch it to send it out to the jack. Now that's the methodology I used on the other one. This one's slightly different, but not terribly, except for the fact that I have the 2 pots. And I'm hoping that one of them is not going to bleed back through the other in this scenario, because in the single volume scenario it cannot do that. So we're going to go with this one and see how this turns out. Alrighty then, I've completed it. I've put it in, and it's packed in there nice and tight in this very, very small cavity, but it's in, and it's neat. And I've done the testing, the tap testing, and it works. But this is the first time, I think, I'm saying out of at least 3, maybe 4 Iyv guitars, I don't like these pickups. Okay, so you can't see that. I'll put it up a little bit. Alright, so got the 4 position in there. All the knobs are up. I've got push pulls on both volumes. And oh geez, and I've got buzzing. I still have the fretwork to do on the neck. So let's go back to our standard 65 deluxe reverb, and everything's full. Oh, and I moved the amplifier 8 feet that way to protect my ear. A little bassy, a little muddy. Same settings as I always use, standard. So they're a little, yeah, a little dark, these pickups. No effects on here at all, anywhere. Second position, I've had to redo my chart. So that was humbuckers in the bridge. Second position is both humbuckers in parallel. If there was a little bit more mid in there, they probably sound a little bit better. Okay, so you're going from parallel to series. A boost because series. And in series, they sound even more muddy together. No splits. And then the neck. Okay, let's work backwards and split the neck. So when we split the neck, what we're going to get is the inside coil on, the outside coil off. All the other coils will be off. And the difference between split and that. So it's half a coil, it sounds much better to me. Hopefully the amplifier is being picked up okay by my microphone, which is right here on my tablet in front of me. Alrighty. Now if we go to position 3. Well, no, yeah, I'm screwed up on my thing. So now when I go to this position, they're in series, and I'm going to get the two inside coils right there in series. Now those two together sound almost the same as a regular humbucker of the neck, which is kind of muddy. Alright, so back to parallel. And in parallel on the neck, we're going to end up with these two, because in position 2 they're normally both on, and this pulls out one, and that pulls out the inside coil, and we're going to get the outside and these two coils on. That combination doesn't sound too bad. Probably with some effects that could be made to sound pretty good. Actually, these pickups could probably be made to sound good if we took down some bass and added some mids with the equalizer. But I don't know. I just don't know that I like it. And then of course the neck has absolutely no effect in the bridge position. So let's go back the other way with the bridge. So now we split the bridge, and in position 1 what we're getting is only the inside coil here, so it's a single coil bridge. Now that half doesn't sound bad by itself. It sounds pretty good. Now if we go to the next position, what we end up with is the full humbucker, as you normally have in the position 2, and one of the coils here, which will be the inside coil. So 2 and inside. So it warms up a bit because we put half of this one in there. Alright, now in series, what we're going to get is the same coils, except they're going to be now in series mode. output, but more muddy. That would have to be compensated for in some way, in my opinion. Okay. And of course, in the neck position, that switch does absolutely nothing. Now the only other combination we can get is with both of them up and the switch in position 2. Then we split one coil from each one. We split the 2 inside coils are off, the 2 outside coils are on, and we get this. Now if I could marry those 2 outside coils together as one humbucker, it would sound pretty nice. So the 4-way switching of the drawing works when you wire it this way without tapping any of the center taps to ground. So from here I have to, of course, take these strings off. I have to do the fretwork because there is a lot of uneven frets in here, and the tuners, I have a replacement set of lockers for this that look like the Geikers, but they're not the Geikers. And I put a 22 cap. Which is plenty enough to darken dark humbuckers even more. So it's not like you need to roll off any of the high frequencies that are coming from these things, because there really aren't any. And I've got the treble bleeds on these. So even with treble bleeds, this is how dark they are. So yeah, first time I think I can say I don't really like these Iyvs. Now, I want to show you this. The difference between the 65 Deluxe reverb and the twin reverb. Can I see that from this distance? I don't think so. The Princeton reverb. No, 65 twin reverb. So 65 Deluxe reverb, which is this. Same settings to the twin. The 65 twin reverb seems like a weaker amp with exactly the same settings on the knobs and no effects, but it makes these pickups sound less dark. I have the dawnless pickups already here. There are 2 sets of Lior pickups coming. One set is got chrome covers, and the other set are white. White might look okay on this guitar. I'm going to see what they both test like, compare them to the dawnless, and I'll choose the ones that I think work best. Alrighty, I've gone and taken the pickups out and getting ready for the fretwork. So that's all out. I left everything else intact inside the cavity for now. And we'll try to wire it back in without having to take it all out again, but I'll probably have to take the pots out a little bit, loosen them up. Okay, I've gotten the leveling done. It was problematic, and so we're going to go with the 220 now to 220 to flatten them off. Now the first one's 220 to try to crown them over as we work our way up through the sandpapers. The fretboard has been cleaned, and I'm just removing the tuners. And that's the way I do it. So on the two that I took off that I didn't like, you can better see here how much play there is, you know, in this gearing mechanism. That's a lot before it picks up. So it starts and then boom. So for those, I'm saving buttons and little washers and screws, because you never know when you might need some of those parts to fix other tuners. Surprise! We have zebra humbuckers, black and cream. None of the 4 in the test that I did made me happy. I found these in my stash when I was you know, putting things away. It turns out I bought these about 3-4 years ago. They were GFS pickups. They were just like, they said they were like overwound pickups. There was a sale. Can't remember what I paid for them, but it wasn't what I paid for them today. I put them on my 2010 chips in. I didn't really care. Put the chips in away again, and then I took them off and I put on a set of GFS GF-trons, which are brighter, which I wanted, and these were hiding in my box. So I took them out, tested them, and I decided I liked them. Air bridge, I don't have to keep running to the amp from over here now and plugging things in and what have you. So I can test from here. Position 4 is in series. When they're in series in full humbucker mode, 22K is adding up. I tested it. I'll put them up on screen later. So you can get quite a chugger out of that. But if you split one or two, now you got the north coil and the north coil on each one in split in this position in series. Now you go to here and now they're in parallel. Hear the boost? And then there is the neck alone. Split and not split. Oh, and the other thing I did was, since this fretboard had no fret markers on it, I bought these stickers that I thought I'd try to give me some front fretboard markers. So when I'm watching my hand, I don't have to only watch this little dot down here. I can see this at an angle where my hand is over those lightning bolts. So I thought I'm going to give those a try, and we'll see where it goes. So the back is now fully wired. It's quite compact and tight, but it's there. All right, let's go to the other side. Okay, that's no tone. Up. So we're in the bridge position. So I'll put a little chart up on the screen and show you which ones are on and off in the you know, push-pull sequence along with the selector switch. And you got to remember that in position 2 and in position 3 you get to be able to blend with the pots as well. So you've got multi-levels of being able to adjust pickups in position 2 in parallel, position 3 in series, and then neck, bridge. Split, no frailing resistors in these. Neck. Neck's a little boomier. Okay, let's split them both and go into position 2. Well, let's split one, split the bridge, and keep the neck on. Split the other one. Bridge full, neck split. Subtle difference between those two in parallel. Alright, series, this makes noise. Split the neck. That takes it down to about 4K. Split the bridge, and that takes it down 7K. Whew. Woof. So that worked out after I figured out how to wire the switch properly. I'm happy with it. I think I'm just going to dive in there and probably put a 33 now. And I think that's going to help the tone have a little bit more tone. So, alright. This I'm going to call the end of the Issy-200 from Iyv Indian Vina Guitars. And thanks for watching the series, and we'll catch you in the next series.